Alright, hi everyone, it's Mr. 28 here, Chief Executive Officer, Founder of 28 Games. Hope you're all doing really, really well. It's been a while since I had this this format right here. What I really want to say is battle stations. I want to get this done, as soon as possible. You know how I'm deep in this thing. I've done a lot, and I want to bring it on home. I want to bring it on home, and you've probably seen the different videos about the $10 billion, $6 billion check, everything that's going with that, some other recordings that I've done. This is a really, really big deal. It's personally a big deal for me, based on everything that I've gone through. You've probably seen me talk about, my mother and everything like that, or mom as I call her, and the situation that happened, after my father died, and everything just went south. What I'm trying to tell you is to solidify my, basically, I'm gonna need all the help from you, all of you, to bring this on home, to make this happen. I'm going to be doing a few things in the background, but to me it's really just incredible. My hat is off. I really, to everyone who's been a part of this, bravo. You've done an incredible job. I'm sure you've learned a lot about yourselves and your talents and your ambition and everything like that. I certainly have learned a lot about my ambition. And it's wonderful when you go for such a long time, and you go without knowing about this special part about you, and you unlock that, and you learn more about yourself. And I have most definitely learned so much about myself since my father died back in 2019, and taking care of my sister and all that, and it's made me so much more of a stronger person, and it's just wonderful for me to see. I got 303 subscribers right now on YouTube. Thank you so much. You don't know what that means to me. You probably do, but I'm gonna say you don't, because I'm just to show I'm humbled by that, because I am truly, absolutely humbled by that. There's a few things I want to show you, but I just feel like I want to do this the professional way. I want to do this. I want to do this the right way. But considering now that I'm doing a video, it probably makes sense to just to read you something, something that's really, really big, something that I'm really proud of, something that happened on December 20th last year. I was able to work something out that is going to change my future for the better. And I'm still processing it, because last December was a really, really difficult month, and it was because we had those debt snakes trying to come after us, and the lawyer they hired, to collect on debt from a second mortgage my father took out back in '06 when his father died. He got in dire straits. That's why he did that. And then there's a loan modification, and we got these this debt collection agency, real-time resolutions, or RTRs, many people call them, based out of Texas, and they've just been sending us bills for years and years and years. And the fact of the matter is, it's legitimate. My parents, my father took it out, and you take out a second mortgage to leverage the first one, and it just kept getting passed around over and over and over again, until it got to real-time resolutions, who were real-time solutions before. Now they're real-time resolutions. Try to pretty up their name. And we just kind of ignored it because it was just debt. But here in my state, they can collect on mortgage debt for up to 20 years. It's time barred to a certain point. Statute of limitations. If you go past the statute of limitations, they can still try to collect on you. They're not supposed to. But they are, because they're debt collectors, and that money is their money. That's how they make their profit. But I want to go right ahead, and I'm going to read you something. And I want to make sure, because I got a whole bunch of stuff here. This is Very, very special. Very special. And I apologize. You may actually already see it a little bit, but you know. So what I got here is a unilateral contractual agreement. It's a contract which I signed on December 20th, 2024 from a company by the name of Take-Two Interactive Software. And this is the agreement, this is the fact that I can say that. And I haven't even started, mind you, I haven't even started reading this yet. The fact that I was able to execute this and make this happen at a time where I am in dire straits right now, where things are, unsettled. The futures, things are kind of up in the air. The fact that I could make this happen, I mean, it brought tears to my eyes. It really, really did. You want to talk about a miracle, which I always thought this would be. I always thought this would be something totally miraculous. It's one of those things where it's like you're never gonna fully process it. It's just that incredible, you know. And a lot of people want to make things like this happen. A lot of people want to have these moments. And the fact of the matter is, any moment can be a miracle. Any moment can be miraculous. That's what I meant to say. And it's true. And as me being the chief executive officer and founder and the senior marketing director, which by the way this plays into, that's the new Grand Theft Auto reboot. Okay, not the Rockstar product, Grand Theft Auto. This is completely different and separate to that. But true to my tagline here, which is crazy, ambitious, cleverly historic. The length that I've gone to make this happen is something I think is truly, truly commendable. And I think people will look at that as a source of inspiration to do things like this, to try to, because as it stands, this is the benchmark for amazing. This is the benchmark for ambitious. And I wanted to do this a certain way, a certain presentation, a certain level of degree of professionalism with it, because I'm a perfectionist. I was in school, I was in college, my 2-year college I went to, and I am with this. I'm taking this so seriously. Pardon me. This isn't my job, and I want things to go right. Excuse me. Just had some food. That's why my stomach's doing what it's doing. But I worked my ass off to make this happen. And I do apologize if the language of the contract, it seems to be, I don't want to say premature, but a little questionable. If you were an English professor or something like that. I believe it was an intern at Take-Two Interactive that drafted this, that drew this up. But when you read it, it'll definitely make sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. And I'll read everything that's on here. And for those of you who've been looking closely, it's on my YouTube channel. It's just blocked out, but it's there. It's on. I got a Facebook page, 28 Games. It's also on there. And what I'll say is, what amazed me is the fact that I put a decoy one on there. I put two, because there's two of them. There's this official one, and then there's a decoy one, right? The decoy one only got 2 views? Yeah, it was 2 views, it went up to 3. This one here, this one got a little more, it got 9, but this one got more. And it's the fact that this one got more that really, really speaks volumes. So, this is just, I'm still trying to process it. But bear with me, I'm going to do the best I can here. So I'm going to read everything that is underwritten, that is explicitly stated, because I want to be truthful about this. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so it says, and there's 2 pages here. Unilateral contractual agreement, authorization of transaction, Take-Two Interactive Software Inc., Rockstar Games, December 20th, 2024. Agreement. Pursuant to all applicable statutes governing New York law, we Take-Two Interactive Software Inc., the offerer. I'll explain a little bit about that. A unilateral contract is a contract where one party benefits. The party that is willing to offer something is the offerer. The party that is accepting that offer is the offeree. They're accepting, it can be monetary, it can be money. It's not always the case. But you have a unilateral, bilateral, contractual agreement. Unilateral is one party benefits, a bilateral is 2 benefits. So just to keep that in mind. Alright, so we Take-Two Interactive Software Inc., the offerer, parent company of Rockstar Games, hereby enter into agreement with Chief Executive Officer and founder of 28 Games Inc., Aaron, the offeree, for recognition of Aaron's performance rendered as Senior Marketing Director, as well as for implementation of the following features, which include realistic steering, realistic tire physics, vehicle fueling, and selective NPC dialogue towards the forthcoming entry within the Grand Theft Auto franchise, Grand Theft Auto 6, the product. The sum of $6 billion. $6 million. Now, is there a catch to that? There is. The $6 million here, to be very clear, is an estimate based on the projection that Grand Theft Auto 6, as we know the concept, because they're going along with it, is going to make $3 billion in its first year. But it's so $3 billion in its first year. So that's kind of where the $6 billion estimate comes from. It's a very big number. A few things you're probably thinking, that's a lot of money. What you actually do to earn it? A lot. From realistically, starting in 2016, back Grand Theft Auto Forums, that was my main source, external source, touch point. Then I went to YouTube, Reddit, Discord, Facebook a little bit, and then I started basically coming into my own and becoming a content creator, and making concepts myself, and just kind of brainstorming and putting people, hyping people up for GTA 6. And then what I decided to do is I said, look, so what I think would be awesome, I'm just gonna be the personification of this game. I'm gonna take all my socials, they're gonna change the hashtag Grand Theft Auto 6, the concept. Then, you know what? On January 1st, 2025, I'm gonna release it. I'm gonna do a midnight launch. I'm gonna wait until New Year's Eve in the in the chat room there. Everyone waits for the ball to drop. After the ball drops, I'm gonna say Grand Theft Auto 6 out now, rated M for mature, and that's what I basically did. And from there, that changed everything. And there are many ways that I could say this, but the $6 million thing is an estimate based on the projection that this game will make $3 billion in its first year. Okay, first year. Alright, so reading right along here. In addition to the aforementioned, this agreement will carry a bonus incentive of 0.05% in sales revenue of futuristic episodic content in Grand Theft Auto 6, the product, to the financial benefit of Chief Executive Officer and founder of 28 Games Inc., Aaron, the offeree. Take-Two Interactive Software Inc., the offerer, agrees to process and transact these funds via check to the pre-designated mailing address disclosed upon the official launch and contingency of the forthcoming entry of the Grand Theft Auto franchise, Grand Theft Auto 6, the product. So about the mailing address, in a nutshell, I've been in contact with Take-Two Interactive Software and Rockstar Games. I've had contact with them for a very long time now. I was basically contacted by somebody just saying, look, we're going to be ironing things out. You're going to be, Take-Two's going to get in contact with you. You're probably going to sign a contract, considering the fact that this will be a depository transfer check, which is a check, the check that you get, deposit, in your bank. That I'd be signing an agreement, and you just kind of walking me through what the expectations were, and it was a little jarring. I was very anxious. There was a sense of urgency. I wanted to get it done. I wanted to get it finalized. And what I didn't indicate here is that they did want me to. They wanted me to pay a deposit. Now, many of you are thinking probably, if this is supposed to be like some kind of a reward, which it is, but it's bigger than that. Why should you have to pay $1,868.55? Well, what company do you know does that? I don't know of any. And it's, to me, it's just it's a blessing in disguise. It's many things, but it's a blessing in disguise. But they did tell me, we've already have a number. They gave me two options. They said, you can do 1,200 for $6 million, or that was in the beginning. Yeah, that was in the beginning. But they gave me a choice, and I ultimately ended up choosing $10 million, or $6 billion. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm pretty anxious about this. Because it's a big deal. It really is. But they did say gotta pay a little deposit, and they said it's for logistics. It's for getting the check to you safely. The fact that we don't do this, and as I recall, it's gonna go to one of the charities. Because Take-Two Interactive Software is very big on charities. It's part of who they are. So that's another reason for this almost $2,000 deposit. Which honestly, when I think about that, is it fair? Well, I mean, I have my opinion, but at the end of the day, yes, it is. It is, because this is something that's never been done before. It's history. It's miraculous. It's history. It's all that. So I'm gonna keep reading here. All right. So the processing and transaction of these funds will be strictly dependent on the 2025, 2026, or fiscal 2026-2027 pipeline forecast, as well as any delays of Grand Theft Auto 6, the product deemed necessary, and just to, basically that's talking about what Rockstar does next. So, in case you're curious about that. As well as any delays of Grand Theft Auto 6, the product deemed necessary at the discretion of Rockstar Games to deliver the best possible product. As we know, Rockstar is very, very well known for delaying their IPs, and GTA 6 is the concept. There's no exception to that. A lot of people think some people think it's going to come out this year, 2025. Some people think it's going to be delayed and come out in 2026. I'm optimistic. I guess, yeah. I'm always trying to be. I always try to be optimistic. You always got to try to be optimistic, no matter what, and that's just the truth. Okay. Chief Executive Officer and founder of 28 Games Inc., Aaron, the undersigned, acknowledges not to utilize these funds in any illicit or unlawful manner, nor engage in any deceptive business practices, which basically use it for what it's intended for. And then there's a second page here, and the second page is the signatures of all the people that all the key people, including myself, that made this possible. Just looking at this is just incredible to me. I want to cry, because I've just been through hell and back since my father died, and it's like I just felt like, it was never going to come to an end, and excuse my language, but this shit was just going to keep hitting the fan, and it did over and over and over and over and over. And I said all the way back when I established 28 Games, my company, September the 21st or September the 20th, 2021, I said, look, maybe I can do something big. Maybe I can try to help out Rockstar, and I can get paid for this. But in a dire situation right now, I need a lot of help. What I have right now isn't enough. Quite frankly, family isn't doing enough, and I don't mean to say, because I've talked about my aunt many, many times. She's been wonderful, got me a car and done a whole bunch of stuff like that. But I just felt like enough hasn't been done. And then what you talk about, what I had tried to do, talk to lawyers and stuff, which, yeah, that's not easier said than done. That's not fun at all. I tried to get something going for guardianship for my mother. I think she definitely needs it because of her mental illness and the conditions, everything like that. She's definitely got psychosis from talking to psychic mediums and it becoming her drug, not having that drug, withdrawing from that drug, and she was said to have been diagnosed with type 1 bipolar with psychosis features at our health center, which she didn't like, so she, stopped going there, stopped taking, going to therapy, taking medication, because she went to a place called Brattleboro, Vermont, went on antipsychotic for 11 months, and no, I'm all done with it, I don't need it. Thought she was better afterwards, didn't, it's a whole can of worms, it's a whole story. Well, I took care of my sister, 3 to 4 years in hotels and motels. We were shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, day by day, pulse by pulse. I took care of her in relief, and then she went to home care on March 2nd, 2023. From there, I stayed in a hotel that we stayed at. We stayed in 3 rooms in the Best Western. 157 was the last room. I stayed there for 3 months, lived off 10 grand. Yep, 10 grand. Start gambling, all that. So I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery. Didn't happen. I wind up coming back home to my house. The sights and sounds chaos I tried to get my sister away from. May 21st, 2023. The shit had hit the fan like you don't even know. My mother couldn't keep a job. $14,000 over in the mortgage. Shelved my mortgage servicing. A homeless guy was here in our backyard. Got kicked out. My mother said, oh, you the devil this, that, after this, and like that. It drove me nuts. Brought him back. December 6th, 2023. Put him in our basement. He turned our basement into his little apartment. He had a freaking gun down there, a 45 caliber gun. My mother didn't know about when it flipped out. Then she kicks him out March last year. So this year will be almost a year since he's not been here. All that happened, and at the same time, I just wanted to freaking kill myself. I wouldn't do that, but it was like it's kind of one of those things where I'm just frustrated. I'm racking my brain. What do I do? And the fact of the matter is, I was like shitting myself. I mean, that's what it felt like. My nerves were so freaking bad that I just couldn't, I couldn't focus because you got anxiety. Like I do on my dad's side of the family, and I do. You can't focus. Parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. There's 2 differences. The sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. Your heart rate goes up, you can't focus. Parasympathetic nervous system comes in, calms it down. My anxiety was bad, through the roof. My mother wasn't getting it. She kept getting fired from 11 jobs. She's got a job now, thankfully. I'm so great, so proud of her for that, at a nursing home. She's almost 11 months on that, but prior to that, it was a train wreck. A total train wreck, absolute total train wreck. I didn't have a car, so I was basically here, had a little bit of a light depression. The Gerard, the homeless guy, or the basement dweller, as I call him, he took us everywhere, transportation, took us to see the schedule of visits with my sister, because my sister's got guardianship. She's been in almost 2 years now, to Mickey D's for a 2-hour visit, which we started doing between 4 to 6, and it changed to 3 to 5. It's just been crazy. It's been balls to the wall, crazy. So, this contract here, okay? Well, let me read before I get to that, I'm going to read off all the signatures. I'll be at liberty to do that. they're totally okay with this. They want me to do this because it's fucking amazing. It is absolutely amazing, and I'm grateful, 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 grateful like you don't even know. Okay, so same thing here. Unilateral contract agreement, authorization of transaction, Take-Two Interactive Software, Inc. Rockstar Games. You got the nice little Take-Two logo up there to authenticate it. Make it official. Signatures. In witness where we have caused this agreement to be, do we hereby inscribe our names on this 20th day of December, 2024. Beginning with the first key person. Carl Sladoff, President of Take-Two Interactive Software. Harry Strauss-Zelnick, the Chief Executive Officer of Take-Two Interactive Software. Lainey Goldstein, the Chief Finance Officer, Take-Two Interactive Software. And yours truly, Aaron Redacted, Chief Executive Officer and Founder of 28 Games. It's incredible, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible. I'm grateful, and you want to take a look at it. Be fearless. I got nothing to hide, and this is something to be proud of. So there you go. That's page 1. All the terms. And there's a signature. Get your signatures right there. And it's like, I just can't, I told my mother about this, she doesn't believe me, what's too good to be true is good to be true, and that's true. That's very, very true. There's a lot of scams, but this is authenticated, okay? And I do have a confession to make if I haven't said it before. Someone tried to scam me out of 10 million. Someone disguised themselves as Rockstar Games, tried to disguise themselves, and said, "Oh, I'm Andrew Semple, and a member of my team, Jonah Walker. We knew, we've heard about your story and everything like this." And to be honest with you, I'll actually tell you, because on that fake, I could just show. I don't know. I could. You want me to show it? Should I? The hell with it. We're all gonna face the music sometime. Alright. Hang on just a second here. The very thing, okay? This is it. This is the contract that I signed. It did have my name on there. Hopefully you didn't see that. But this is alright. So I need to. It's blocked. That was it. That's what I signed, and it was totally fake. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier on. I just didn't. I didn't know what to do. If anything, I think that this would really piss Rockstar off and even Take-Two. Because the fact that someone would, try to do this isn't authentic. Okay, difference between concept and reality. Fake, real. And I would say to the person who thought you could pull one over on me, you gotta fucking be ashamed of yourself. Absolute ashamed. To do that to someone like me, in a bad situation that I'm in right now, to take advantage of someone like that. What's this show about you? What's this show about your character? It says more about you than it does about me. And if you did this to my father, he would have clotheslined you. He would have put you in the hospital. Maybe even put you in the ground. Okay? So you didn't gain anything out of this. You didn't. All you got is a whole bunch of, your 15 seconds of fame. That's all you motherfucking got out of this. Okay? So you won't be doing that bullshit again. I won't let it happen. Okay? Because the big boss knows they've already finalized everything with me. Okay, and as you can see, this thing was just drawn up. This thing was totally drawn up. Okay, you promised me 10 million, and I actually, you know what? I paid you something. I got scammed. At least here. Okay. I know this is real. I know this is authentic. Whereas this was just this drawn up. I mean, for someone to freaking pretend to be Andrew Semple one of the most respected names in Rockstar North. I mean, he's one of the most, like, next to Humphreys, I think his name is, Aaron Garbut, all these key people. I mean, you made Rockstar look so bad. You know what? You should have to pay him. They should just freaking sue you for $10 million. How about that? And never mind the Florida Joker, trying to get, in his get up, in his little game, trying to get 20 million out, GTA, we gotta talk, and all